Hi, this is Roger, thanks for dropping by. This is just one of those what I'm doing videos, so short and sweet. I've spoken to Sarah at Burnham's and I will be going there on Thursday. What was it today? Tuesday, isn't it? Yeah, so I'll be going there on Thursday. She has got me a piece of the Dendrobium Victoria Regina. Doesn't sound like a huge piece, but at least I guarantee it is the real thing, and that's probably as good as I'm going to get, so that'll have to do. I'll have a look round, see what else I can find there. She's reasonably certain that the boys aren't in watering in the nursery area on Thursday, so I should have it to myself, or I certainly will be able to go in there anyway, to have a look round there. That's where the little secrets are, shall we call them, rather than in the big sales area. You don't tend to find much unusual out there, so I should be able to have a nose round in there, at least do some videos and things. And yeah, I'm not sure whether Zaina's going to turn up. I've left her an email and a message on YouTube. She mentioned that she wanted to get some plants to me before she emigrates to Italy, and also it's the only opportunity I'm going to get that Wilbur Chang to her, if she still wants it. So I've done messages for that, so hopefully that'll be okay. I've decided my field trip was going to be tomorrow, but it was dependent on whether I went to Burnham's on the Thursday or the Friday. I'm not really prepared to do 2 big days consecutively, so I'm going to put my field trip off. That might mean that when I get there there's less orchids to see. You know, I mean, the longer it goes on, and the longer this dry weather goes on, the more the blooms are just going to keel over anyway, and the whole plant in some cases. It's just getting silly now. Still no sign of any rain for the whole of the rest of this week. Nothing. It's just going on and on and on. And I don't mind looking after my orchids, but I'm getting very fed up with looking after parts of the garden and the bonsai and things, because it's excessive. I shouldn't have to be working that hard out there. The weather should be doing some of that for me, and it's not. Yeah. So anyway, and the other news is decisions made. One of the orchid societies has just basically gone down for the rest of the year. They've made the decision, so they're not making any more efforts or looking into this and looking into that. They've just said, nope, as far as this year is concerned, we're writing it off, and we're just going to do some online things, you know, things like newsletters and stuff like that. So that's it. Ooh, thought I'd gone deaf for a minute. Forget how noisy those are until they stop. Yeah, so that's one of the orchid societies. The other one is still working on the possibility of doing some things. I think they found a way of doing an online committee meeting, and I believe all of the members of the committee would be able to take part in that. The problem with doing anything online as far as the members are concerned, there's quite a few members at one of the orchid societies hasn't even got an email address. So don't hold your breath getting them online. And that's how they are. You know, they don't wish to change. That's how they are. And you can't make people come into the 20th century as we're halfway through the 21st. Anyway, so yeah, so there's still not going to be any meetings. That makes one of the shows definitely off. The other Orchid Society are still looking into the possibility of holding their show, which will be the beginning of October. I personally don't think they're going to make it, simply because the restrictions on the hall where the orchids will be so great that we won't get enough people through the door to make it economically viable. So to do it, we'd have to run it at possibly quite a loss, and I doubt if they'll agree to that. So I can't see it taking place myself, which means there won't be any orchid shows this year at all. If the 2 orchid societies can't get anything together, certainly the national ones are off anyway. The last hope was the Welsh one. That's gone now. So yeah, so it's just a whole year gone. And that's how it is. Almost, it's everybody in all walks of life, whether you're in a knitting circle or car maintenance group or whatever it is, it's just all off. It's just ridiculous. But it's still how it needs to be, isn't it? I might moan about it and begrudge it and, look forward to another half a year with next to nothing to do, but it is how it needs to be. So, the alternative is we all just forget the whole thing and start carrying on as normal, and we'll all go down again and we'll all get shut away in our boxes. So, we got choices. The sensible choice is to be semi-shut away in our boxes. It is getting on one's threepneys, and I'm not explaining that again. So a bit of news, and I will be going to Burnham's on Thursday. Video of that will be Friday. I certainly won't be doing that when I get home on Thursday. And the field trip, it could be one of those things where I just go blow it and chuck the stuff in the car and go. In other words, unannounced. And that could potentially even be tomorrow. I really don't know. My sister's been in touch, so the row that started the rant is over. It's all over. I knew it would be. It'd blow over. As soon as the wind blows, it just disappears into the dust. So Mum's birthday do is back on again. And the place where we're hosting it, they've said, yes, you can do it, but you're limited to 30 people. Now, under normal circumstances, a family gathering like that with family and friends would be more like 60 or 70. So my sister's now got the hard job of deciding who is allowed to actually come and who's got to be told no. Goes on and on, doesn't it? One thing after another. I mean, I'm in. I'm in. No problem. But it's gone from the normal boozy evening with people wandering around, sitting at different tables and chatting to people they haven't seen for, ages and ages, like the previous week and things like that. It's turned into what's going to be an afternoon tea, which is a traditional Englishy thing, which the rest of the world probably don't get involved with, where people sit down and have cups of tea or coffee, and they have little delicate sandwiches on a little sort of stand with different layers, and some fancy cakes, and some scones, which are, if you look them up, I can't describe them, scones with raspberry or strawberry jam and fresh cream. And it's called a cream tea, and it has all those elements in various degrees. So not a boozy do at all, and it's an afternoon do. So there's no point in having a boozy do in the evening because we can't, So at least we're going to have something. That's the main thing. And so I'll see you next time. What is next time? Next time is part 2 of that repotting session, which I'll get posted. I'll probably post that tomorrow morning, actually. And I'll see you soon. As I say, it's there won't be videos every day now. There's going to be some gaps till we get once we get the Cattleya season up and running. There'll be some more to look at. And what I did think I'd do as a video is we did the holy clay pots, which in the main, bar one dendrobium, is Cattleya types. But that's not all my Cattleya types. So a nice little video might be, let's have a look at the rest of the Cattleya types, because they're all mounted. So we can have a look round those. And that's the idea, I think. I'm just going to pick on little sets of plants and just have a look at a little set and see how it's getting on. Oh, I know what I did want to show you. I'll do that now. See, now if you bailed out early, you're not going to see this, are you? My tiny little bulbophyllum's come out. Now this is tiny. Where can I put it where I can film it still? Would it stay still there? Possibly. It's tiny. Absolutely tiny. It's a species, I'll do a pop-up, it's Pomillo or something like that. And it spent a lot of its life with me not knowing what it was because it was misnamed. It came with a tag that was wrong. And eventually lots of people started looking and digging around for me, which is very nice of them. Somebody came up with it. Lots of people came up with ideas, and I went and had a look and I thought, nah, that's not it. Or, you know, it might have been the right colour, but it was the wrong size. You know, if the blooms are 3 times as big, it's not the right species, is it? So, and that's difficult when you're trying to identify something, is to get the scale of the size of the bulbs, the size of the leaves, the length of the rhizomes with bulbophyllums, all that's important, and then the actual colour and shape of the blooms. But somebody found it, and I went and had a look, and it is a little variable, the blooms, but the majority of the pictures were spot on. So I was quite happy with that. And now, in theory, there are 4 new growths on this plant at the moment, all over the place, and only one of them has bloomed. It blooms on the previous growth, not on the latest one. So it matures a growth and blooms on the one behind. Or that's what it's always done so far. And at the moment I've only got 1, when in theory there should be another 3 lurking in there somewhere. But tiny. Lovely though, you know. Doesn't always have to be big, does it? Let's see if I can get this spotty thing to work. Where I touch the screen and it homes in on it. It's not working bad, is it? Not working bad, I think. I don't know, it's difficult to see on the screen. Anyway, I thought I'd show you that. I haven't got many new blooms to show in, you know, at the moment, so we'll have anything that's going at the moment. Let's get that back up where it lives. And yeah, I'll see you next time. Thanks for dropping by.